you're through to Minis and Motorbikes, Adam, Mark and Archie. We're working on a car at the moment, so leave a message after the beep.
Hi Adam, it's Mark. I'll pick you up in about 30 minutes, mate, and we'll head off to see Mark Blundell. I did tell you we were going to interview Mark Blundell, didn't I? Anyway, wear a shirt, the blue one. Cheers, mate.
Welcome to Minis and Motorbikes and another episode of the Mini Build. What are we doing today, mate?
Well, we're going to look at all the bolts that hold the back training arms on, sort them out, de-rust them, zinc plate, etc, etc, etc. We can start rebuilding everything then at the back. We've had a special delivery from Classic Plating Limited in Dawlish near Exeter. It is Dawlish, isn't it?
Dawlish.
Dawlish, sorry Liz. Dawlish near Exeter, and it would be good to open up and see what's in there and see what they sent.
And we met up with ex-Formula 1 driver Mark Blundell this week and had a chat with him about his career and what he's up to now. So let's crack on.
Yeah. Right, Karen. We'll explain about that little kit, because we had that little plating kit, didn't we? And of course, I thought I was being... Yes.
Yeah, well, it's up there
it's
now.
Up there.
Yeah.
I've set it all up. We'll show you that later. I thought it did stripping and zinc plating. It did it all in one sort of thing, but it doesn't. It just does stripping of rust. It just gets rid of the rust, so it doesn't do the zinc plating. Anyway, I got to talking to Liz, the head of sales at Classic Plating down in, I think, at Devon or somewhere, down that way, and they've sent us a couple of freebies. I know. It's like Christmas. I don't know what to say.
So we're going to do an unboxing?
Yes.
I love an unboxing.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
Right. Do you need me to get a knife? Do you need me to get a knife?
I've already got one for you.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Look.
Yeah.
Right.
So they've kindly sent us these boxes. I've got no idea what's in them. They're a family-run company, and they're the Dogs Doodahs, because they are absolutely brilliant. I think the dad started the company off because he wanted to chrome some bumpers. I think he's got a degree in chemistry or something, so he started the company up with that. And then, so it's a lovely run family business, very helpful. All I was asking basically was, can you let us know what chemicals we're going to need to turn the kit we'd already got into a zinc plating kit, because I totally cocked up, being the person that I am, didn't read the instructions. And they kindly sent us these boxes. So we need to see what's in them.
Oh, we'll put a link in the description of this,
links in the description,
of this episode.
Facebook page and
so
stuff like that. So
if you want anything yourself and you want to go on their website, there'll be a link to the website and everything, because they don't... But
it's really organised. It's really organised, and they're really set up for the garage Easter. That's a good word, garage Easter.
What's that?
It's a. I think that's what the Italians used to call Ken Tyrrell, because he used to work out of a shed, didn't he, in the Formula 1. So I think it's an Italian word for working out of a shed.
What is the word?
Garage Easter, or something like that.
Doesn't sound Italian, does it?
No, but I think it is.
Don't do it in an Italian accent. Just
no. Oh, come on. No, I've got my hands ready and everything. Come on.
No. Right.
Yeah.
Let's do the first
you
box
do that one
shall we?
then. Yeah, you do that
one. Put that one aside.
Yeah, put that one aside.
We'll do it together.
What, should we hold hands?
Yeah.
I'll hold hands together. Mind your fingers, because you've got dainty little fingers.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Those who have.
Hey?
Do.
Can we hold the box for you? Look,
no, because don't do that, because I'll go like that right across your fingers. So. You shouldn't really open boxes with a knife like this, should they? They do tell you not to do this, but we're well trained.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a Classic Plating. Another great product from Classic, but it is. Yeah. Made in Britain.
That's it. You keep talking, because it don't make for a good episode. Me just don't do in a box.
No, so speak to Liz. Liz is really good. Yes.
I am lifting the box up.
Yes. Oh, look. Oh, do you have a drum roll or?
They've sent us some bubble wrap. I could do with some bubble wrap. No.
This box of Smarties in the bottom. Oh, look. It's a proper DC power supply, look. Wow. Flipping heck. Elizabeth, blimey! Look at that! It's
Hang
a
on,
pucker.
I'll have a look at it in a minute.
It's a pucker. It's a pucker.
It's a box in a box.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Actually, we'll keep opening. There'll be another one, and there'll be a box of mints in the bottom.
What do
of
you
it.
reckon it is then? What do you reckon it is?
Well, I don't know.
Archie,
Arch,
you come out
out
of it, mate.
Come on, yeah. What are you doing, Arch?
You can't beat an unboxing.
No. Yeah, because the bigger the power supply, you see, the more you can plate at one time. The little kit we've got is just for like odds and sods little nuts.
There's the manual.
Oh, yeah.
There's the manual.
Ooh. Look at that.
There's some
Needs
black and
look.
red cables.
Yeah.
You needed some black and red cables.
Look at that. Oh, well. Oh, it's a proper... Ooh. Look. Blimey, Charlie. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, look at that. Man, we might use that on the little one then. For the one we've got with that. You do get a little trickle charger with the little kit.
Shall I take that off?
And see, you don't normally, do you?
I don't.
No.
That's why I'm doing it, you see. I didn't do a very good job of taking it off as
No.
well.
Oh, wow.
See, I ain't got to practice. What do you reckon then?
Yeah, bloody hell.
Well,
There
there we go.
there we go. Look. There we go. Look.
Try and get it so the light don't shine off of it, off like it does off the top of
I
my
can't believe
head.
that. It's-
There you go. Well, I have absolutely no idea what that is or what it does, but it looks fantastic.
It
doesn't
sends electric current through and does all the gets all the chemicals working to do what we need to do with the plating and everything. Right.
Right. Shall I put that over here?
Yeah, put that one over there. Yes. Wow.
So, what's the advantage, or do you not know the advantage of using that over the little tiny one that came with the pack? You don't know, do you?
Common sense tells me that the little one is for smaller items. So if you want a chrome plate or zinc plate or strip bigger items, then you need more power. It's relevant to whatever you're stripping. Do you see what I mean?
Well,
Can I explain that?
I will do when you show us
Yeah.
in future episodes.
Yes.
I'll tune in and watch them. I might even subscribe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right. We'll have it. Right.
Yeah.
Box number 2.
Yeah, I'm going to have a slurp of tea.
Box number 2.
Trouble is I'm left-handed, you see.
Box number 2. Nice to have a cup of tea, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you had a roast dinner today, though, didn't you? I had baked beans. Don't feel bad.
I didn't
The diet's
actually.
going really well.
I didn't actually. I had a calzone at Ask.
A what?
A
You went
calzone.
to Ask?
Yeah,
Really?
I did. Yeah.
What? They give you mortgages out at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's a very important bit of paper in there you just cut through.
I've cut right through
Yeah.
that. It's now it comes from
What?
Asildon.
Straight down the middle. Oh, we're not going there again.
No, it was supposed to come from Basildon, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to do this without cutting it.
Yeah,
Whatever it is
I know what
inside,
you're
you
trying
see.
to do. I know what you're trying to do.
We're in.
We're in. Oh no, we've got a
We're in.
big tub there, look.
More bubble wrap. Could do with some bubble
That's
wrap.
the zinc kit professional. So it's a zinc plating kit. So they've given us the big plating kit. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. And thank you.
There's a book for
Oh,
you.
yeah, they're instructions. You have to read them. Look at that. Classic Plating Limited. Doo, doo, doo. Yeah. Wow. Look at that. Oh, there's loads of tubs.
Oh, hang on,
blimey.
hang on. There's more.
There's more.
We've got a bio sponge filter.
Flipping heck.
Bio sponge filter.
Loads of buckets with stuff in the buckets.
Lids.
Lids.
And whatever's
Wow.
in there. Look.
Oh, flipping heck. I don't know what to say. Thank you doesn't seem to be enough. Blimey. Here, Mark, here. Yeah, look, yeah.
What? Oh, there's a whole
Safety
load of
goggles.
stuff in the bucket.
Oh, yeah, we've got more gloves. Look, we've still got gloves from the other one. Look at that. Well, not bad goggles either. Oh, we've got loads of stuff in it. Hey, Arch.
Hello. Multimeter! Multimeter! I see, I did say you didn't on that, didn't you? Said you'd got a multimeter.
Yeah.
But we've now got a multimeter. Yeah. Brilliant. Great.
And an ammeter, look. We need that because that tells us
that?
where it's going through, so we know what power to
Some
turn
more,
the thing up
some more
to.
of them things.
Yeah,
That
resistor.
I'm trying to make I know what that is. But
Resistor. No, so the ammeter, you see, it tells you what... Because you have to work out...
What's
how
this?
do I try and explain it?
What's this?
No, something else. It
What's
might be a fish tank heater to heat the water up. Or no, it could be a pump to pump air through it. That's the heat. That's
there we go. There you go. What is it? What is it? What is it? It's an air pump.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's an aqua air pump.
Yeah.
Right.
Did
I say that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Aquarium.
Oh, pH meter.
Aquarium.
Let's start laying these stuff out in front of it.
Right, I've got some
See what's what.
aquarium heater.
It heats the water up, so it makes it well. I've bought my own from home, my own fish tank for that little one, so I can take that home now. Some more gloves and masters, so we both got a pair now. Oh well. Oh, now we get into the exciting stuff, all the dangerous stuff. Jacuzzo, isn't it? Oh, that's that. Let's do all that out on there. Look. Got washers in there, so we might lose him. There's more chemicals. That corrosive alkaline organic.
I didn't see that. What was that?
That's the ammeter, so you can tell how many amps is going through from that charger into the that is putting into the chemicals. Basically, we'll explain it a bit better at some point. But I just want to get it all unwrapped really, because I'm just blown away by the fact we've got this lovely little kit they sent us.
What's in here?
Considering only our
You don't know what's in here yet, do you?
No. More chemicals there. Look, what's these chemicals? Corrosive danger environment. Zinc chloride. Oh right, so we've got cleaners and we've got the zinc plate by the looks of it. Shall we read it? Blimey, that's what you get in the kit though. This is what you get in the professional kit.
Oh, hello.
Oh yeah, for the ends of the doodahs, because they've got the all European things on them, haven't they? The twin. But that one hasn't, though. It's got a proper plug on it, that one. Chloride, so there's all the chemicals. Look, God, there's no end in the box, isn't there? In the bucket, rather, I should say. Dry acid salts.
There's masses of it in the bucket.
I know. So this is their professional zinc plating kit.
No, what are you getting out?
There's just chemicals everywhere.
Yeah, but what have we got?
It's a good job we didn't open it up at the airport, isn't it?
Crikey! Look at that, look, eh?
Yeah.
Colombian. Ammonium chloride.
Yeah.
Ammonium chloride and ammonium chloride.
Blimey.
Zinc chloride. Zinc
More
chloride,
dry
zinc
acid
chloride.
salts.
Alkaline cleaner degreaser. Salts.
That's all. I'll have to
We've
go
got some
through all that,
shampoo here, haven't we?
We've got another box.
Won't need
here,
that. Yellow.
You won't need that, no.
Corrosive liquids. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I'll
what
tell
a
you
bundle
what,
of stuff this is.
that's
Oh, we've got another
impressive,
box.
isn't it? Yeah.
Got another box.
And there's all the wiring, look, to hang all your stuff around the edge of it and bits and pieces. So I think one bucket.
Hello.
Oh, another thing. It must be for another bucket then.
Yeah.
Yeah. It must be for the cleaners or something like that. But yeah, we've got another one of them now. Yeah.
Oh, hello.
That's what that's for, look. There's a resistor there, look. Oh, wow. And there's your anodised, whatever you call them. What did you call them? Anodies, yeah.
Anodies. Yeah.
And then more wiring for the buckets.
And 3 buckets.
Yeah. So one must be to
3
clean.
lids.
One must be to clean them. One must be to wash them off in clean water, and then the other one you must put your chemicals in to plate them. That's what I reckon it is.
Well.
Yeah.
Don't know what to say.
No, well, thank you doesn't seem to be enough.
I don't know what to say.
No. Yes.
What a bit of kit.
Yeah.
What a whole array of stuff. And
Blimey. Yeah, I'm just blown away by that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you
very much. Can't wait to start using
No.
it. Well, can't wait to start watching you use it. Oh, mind you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We've got to do the strip the bolts first, though, haven't we? So, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be the next part.
Yeah,
After that,
but,
that'll be something else. But yeah, might have to make another episode about that, about this, using this kit.
Great stuff.
And I don't want to cook it up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's top notch, isn't it?
Fantastic.
That is top notch.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you, Liz and team, and Dad.
Right, so whilst we pack all this away, or should I say, let Adam pack it all away, we caught up with Mark Blundell this week, and this is the first part of that interview. Wait for the bang.
What bang?
This bang. So it's a very special day for Minis and Motorbikes today. We are delighted to be sitting in front of the company of a Le Mans winner, a Formula 1 driver, an IndyCar driver, a World Sports Car driver, a British touring car driver, and I'm having to look at my notes to remember all of this, and not forgetting a pretty handy motocross driver from what we've heard.
There's something interesting about that actually that will probably come up later on when you talk about it, about driving styles and everything else. Because I got told off once about something I did and I heard something you'd said and it answered everything about grip and stuff, and you know. Anyway, yeah, what are your memories of Ellsworth? Because we know somebody quite close there.
Ellsworth, massive memories of Ellsworth because it was my local track.
Yeah.
So, in fact, a gentleman called Andy Lee, who owned Ellsworth at the time, was a very sort of infamous guy in the local area for Speedway, and obviously his son as well, Michael Lee, but Andy more than anything actually motocross, or scrambling as what it was called back then.
Schoolboy scrambling.
Yeah, because we sort of lived in the village, we knew Kurt Nickel and Dave Nickel, you see, so that's where...
So I used to race against Aaron Nickel.
Oh, we did, Aaron,
So me and Aaron was big contemporaries, and then obviously I watched Kurt go on, and then he went on to other things. I think he's now in the States actually, he's there. So I mean, go back long years of those boys, and I think they had a younger brother as well. I think.
Robert. He wasn't quite as good, but Aaron turned out to be a better mechanic. I think he was.
Hopefully, Robert's not watching.
Oh yeah, sorry, Robert.
Never mind, Robert.
He was a good golfer though.
Yeah, because I was talking to a friend of mine, and I doubt you'll ever remember his name, but his name was Warren Child. And I think you used to do later on. You put there was some trophies because he was a lot younger, and he was racing sort of motocross.
I think he was probably cadet class or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, when I was seniors or expert or something.
Yeah, no. When he mentioned it, he was like, we used to. And I think he said that your dad, Danny, used to provide the trophies that were given out or something, or did some funding or something like that.
I think back then in those days, sort of the fathers would all do a weekend of like buying the trophies for the event. So that makes some sense, yeah. Didn't his dad used to have the post office in Melbourne?
He might well have done. Now, if when he watches this and he hears you say that, he's going to
he picks me up on a lot of stuff when I'm doing in the workshop. So, whoa.
I might be wrong anyway. So,
so you said you didn't race against Kurt, but you raced against Aaron Nickel.
Yeah, so I raced against Aaron Nickel. And back then it was names of Mark Banks, whose father was John Banks. Bickers. So lots of guys, people then that have also come into the sport actually in different ways. Irish guy called Alan Morrison. He did touring cars.
Yeah, I know Alan because I used to run with Harlow. Steve Warby used to set his car on that point.
So there's been a lot of crossover points.
So
even to the point where he goes full circle, and then I was doing what I was doing at bigger levels and bumping into a guy called Ricky Johnson, who was massive in Supercross in America. And met him in the Honda showroom in Tokyo. So that 2 to 4 wheels and transition the other way has always been a big thing.
Yeah. So you don't think I don't personally think karting's a be and end all. I think it learns you probably track craft. Would you agree with that?
Listen, I never did it, so I never felt that I missed out. But at the same time, I know a lot of youngsters who do it cannot be anything but advantageous. But at the same time, I'm still a big believer if you can ride a bike, you can ride a bike. If you can drive a car, you drive a car.
So what benefits would you say that motocross gave you?
Competitiveness, just pure, like you say, handlebar to handlebar or elbow to elbow or fist to chin, because 9 times out of 10 it was that close that would happen. If you fell over in turn 1 and you got a foot peg through your back and they all run over you, that was really what I learned from that. It was a competitive spirit. So you also learnt a lot in terms of the conditions. So for me, I always said it was a benefit for when I was racing in the wet, because I would look at things in a different way to a lot of the drivers. And motocross taught me that, because every time you turn up at a corner, it's changed.
What about throttle use?
Yeah, throttle control, same thing. And again, the way that I sort of rode a bike or drive a car is probably in a minority compared to the majority. So they're all different ways of getting about it, but they all get to the same lap time ultimately.
2 wheels to 4 wheels, how did that happen? Because that's quite a big leap really, aren't
So on the basis of my dad was a second-hand car trader.
Yeah.
So as a kid, I've always been surrounded by cars. That's where the passion for cars came from. 8 years old, sitting on a cushion, looking over the steering wheel. I think 8.5, writing cars off because I've got a piece of freshly laid tarmac stuck on the bottom of the foot. Yeah, so it slipped off the throttle pedal.
Slipped off the brake onto the,
slipped off the brake pedal onto the throttle pedal and then rammed into another 2 cars. So all on private land, so it wasn't a big thing. But no, that basically came from the situation of schoolboy motocross was like because I lived in a rural area, so that was like the thing that everyone did.
Yeah.
And then car racing was completely out of the bandwidth of the family. Had nothing to do with it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Didn't have any understanding of what you even did to enter it.
I know that.
We went to a racing car show, which I think was, even back then, I think it was like Ali Pali or something. I don't even think it wasn't Birmingham or anything.
Yeah, no.
And met a guy called Mike Blanchier, who was then like sales director at Lola Cars, which is at Huntingdon.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And we said to him, well, we think we need to do Formula 3. And he looked at us and said, like, you're mad, that doesn't happen like that.
Yeah.
You have to start in what we call Formula Ford 1600.
Yeah.
And that's basically where we entered into Formula Ford.
Yeah.
Probably
What make of car was it you ran?
in a Lola.
Oh, it was a Lola.
Yeah, so because it was local, we just felt that would be great.
Yeah.
And actually, probably what we did was change the dynamics a little bit of the sport, because we were used to doing 4 races in a day at motocross.
Yeah.
And we couldn't work out why people just didn't spend like an extra 30 quid for an entry fee and another 50 or 80 quid for some tyres and a bit for fuel, and do the other 2 races what were on in Formula Ford. Because 9 times out of 10 you'd have Champion or Snetterton, you'd have a Dunlop Star tomorrow, an SO
and
round.
then you got the Brands Hatch.
Exactly that. So that's why we started doing more races in one day, and it kind of caught on and everybody started doing it.
Yeah. So what was the decision not to do Formula 3 and then just go straight into Formula 3000?
More than anything, budget led.
Because there was probably not a lot of difference in it, was there? Or?
No, I mean there's still quite a lot of difference, but it was one of those factors of like, if you didn't have enough budget to do Formula 3 possible, if you didn't have enough budget to do Formula 3 professionally at the right level with the right team, it was not really worthwhile doing.
No.
So we thought, well, we might as well go and do the next step and do F3000.
Yeah.
But we bought our own car, which was a year-old car.
Yeah.
We ran our own team.
Oh, you run your own team?
Yeah. So it was all cost-cutting, but experience building. So looking back, knowing what I know now, probably would have done things different. But at the time, that was what we did. So, yeah.
So you then competed in Formula 3000 and World Sportscars, and you made a deal with Team Nissan and landed a factory seat. You became the youngest driver to achieve pole position at Le Mans 24 Hour with a 1.04 second margin. But is it right that the car wasn't really set up that well, or there was kind of it was a bit of a miracle lap, wasn't it?
It was 6 seconds.
Yeah. So the margin was just over 6 seconds, which I think is still the biggest margin.
0.4. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what I said.
You did a huge disservice. Huge disservice.
Hell, I say.
So it's just over 6 seconds, and I think it is still the biggest margin for pole position, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, but they put the chicanes in there now, haven't they? What could it have been?
Oh yeah, what could it have been? I'll be honest with you, probably would have been me off the end of the Mulsanne straight, because I probably couldn't have stopped the thing. But the story is, and shortened version of it, is we went to Le Mans, myself and my teammate, a primary drivers, Julian Bailey.
Oh yeah.
We had the option of, do you want to drive the qualifying car to try and get pole, or do you want to start the race? And that was decided over the toss of a coin. I won the toss. I said, no, I want to try for qualifying. And the reason is because Nissan had brought basically a car just to do that lap. What hurt us was all throughout the week of Le Mans, it wouldn't run properly. And we basically got to the end of the process, and it was like the last time to qualify, twilight zone, good track, grip, freshness in the air, moisture, good for the engine. Went out the pits, got told to abort the lap because the engine was still over boosting, which for the Japanese was a big thing, because they didn't want to like lose face and have another issue. So I unplugged the radio because I'd had enough, and basically then carried on with the lap. And the lap now sits there in the books because it was pole, and it was by 6 seconds, and first Japanese manufacturer ever to be on pole position. So I'm happy. And I was even happier because actually, even though Julian Bailey started the race, Murray Walker said it was me behind the wheel all the time on television. So so Julian wasn't very happy for stuff.
I bet. No, knowing what he's like.
Could have gone horribly wrong that manoeuvre. You could have gone bang and you'd have been zero, but you end up hero.
The chances you take, aren't they? You take your chances. Yeah. Now, Frank Williams. What was it like meeting him for the first time and sitting in front of him? I've got a rough idea what that's like.
So I got introduced to Frank by a guy called John McDonald.
Yeah.
And John was running the Middlebridge F3000 team.
Yeah.
And John actually was former team owner of the Ram F1 team. Yeah. John's a great guy, actually lives locally now, bizarrely. And John was the guy that actually walked me into Frank's office and said, this is the young guy that you need to put into your team to start doing your testing. And back in those days, there wasn't really a test driver role that was sort of there as a team member.
Yeah.
And we kind of sort of started that role off, and it was it was a contractual thing. I got paid to do it. It was massive for me because I was doing World Sportscar with Nissan, I was doing F3000, and I was doing F1 testing.
Were you married with kids then or not?
And I was a young guy with a family, had my first child, me and the missus, so I still hadn't made it, but I was trying to make it, and there was quite a lot of responsibilities, and probably people forget that with international sports people, that a lot of the time, most of the time, like, they're all on the journey, but they're on their own, so they're quite, they can be quite selfish. Whereas I sort of had a few other responsibilities to take care of. In a way, I'm really happy because it keeps you grounded.
It's probably only you and Mansell then that had family, I think, wasn't it, at that time?
Yeah,
You're the only two out of all of those that were doing the circuit. That's a big ask. That is a big responsibility.
But Frank, you've got to rest his soul now, but was a really straight talker.
He tells you what he thinks, and he likes racing drivers as well. He likes this,
And Frank was, the guy that gave me the opportunity to get in the Formula 1 car. So I will be forever grateful for that. Patrick Head was also a massive supporter. Huge amount of time and respect for Patrick as well. So Williams is, for me, was right up there. They're not quite where they were.
No, it's a big shame, I think.
But underneath it all, it still sits there. The legacy's there, so that's good.
I mean, that was at the time with all the active suspension, wasn't it? And you'd obviously done a lot of work on getting that to work.
Probably, I'm not sure, but I'm confident. Probably done more miles in an active suspension car.
I think we can say
than any other driver. Down pit lane. Because I did all of the active work for Williams, and then I went on to do all of the stuff with McLaren.
Palo as well. I bet he told you.
I did all the semi-automatic gearbox work, so I did a huge amount of mileage on Williams and McLaren.
And what's it like developing something like that? Because you must be going into a corner knowing your limits, and you've just got more to go, haven't you? Because the suspension's just...
active ride was actually quite... it was a little bit tricky. I mean, on several occasions it failed. And when you sort of... if you say the last corner at the old Estoril where it was fifth gear flat coming onto the straight and it dumps on you.
Is that an oh my god?
Well, you don't even have time for oh my god.
It's just that,
and there's some other words that I would use.
Did they put a safety into that then? So if it ever did that, it recognised it was going to do it, and then it wouldn't. It was gone.
Because the systems were the systems, and we're talking back then, 89, 90. Having a fail-safe and a secondary and third backup system. No different to a semi-automatic gearbox. The first time when we were running them, it was run on pneumatic air. Literally little cylinders.
Yeah, because I think other teams were trying to make it mechanical, weren't they? But Williams are the first with pneumatic, I think, weren't they?
But there was no backup. So when it went wrong, it went wrong. And active ride suspension was pretty much the same thing. So it wasn't until as it got further down the line, but of course it got to the end of the road because the FIA banned it. So. And I think some of the reasoning behind that was it was going beyond the capabilities of the human driver. You literally would be, I'm flat, but my neck's hanging off now, and the car's doing more than what I can achieve.
So was it mainly when it just dropped out and hit the deck, it clipped the deck, that it'd send it, like the back end of, and it'd send it off?
It would do some, I mean, we were doing things where you'd come off the corner and you'd hit a switch on the wheel. you'd lift the nose of the car up 10 mil.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you lift it up 10 mil, you had a lot more free air, less drag, increased top speed.
Yeah, so on the straights you'd lift the front up.
Yeah, but then you had to make sure that the nose was down before you got to turn 1, so the downforce was right, the car was settled. Yeah. But of course, if it didn't work, you went in, It's loads of problems. I mean, there's so many stories.
So it was the Williams engine then, the Renault engine then?
Yeah. Although original stuff when I started, we had a Judd in the back, and but then went to Renault with that relationship.
Yeah, because they were at Judd a few years before, weren't they, when they were trying to transition between turbos and normally aspirated, which was a shame really. They probably should have kept the turbo.
Yeah. So it's, let's say, lots of things, lots of mileage accumulated, and you say, like, you know, I was working with Paddy in '89, and then obviously Paddy went on to massive things in Formula 1 pit lane. So.
And he told you where it was as well, didn't he? He didn't take any prisoners, did he?
Paddy was straightforward.
Nice man,
I think he
but
probably
you know who you are
that.
though, don't you?
Yeah. I think he learned that off Patrick Head actually. Because
because I sort of come across is it Delarose and Neil Brown. Was Neil Brown there then? Was it Neil Brown, one of the engineers?
David Brown.
And they spoke very highly of you. This for me was back in '94 with touring cars when the transition between the Renault 19 and the Laguna. Yeah. That's where I'd sort of come across them.
So, you know, you never see it or read about it. And actually, I'm not even sure, or even back in my day, that it was done that often. But I went to Brabham in '91 off the back of the testing. And then got asked to go back to Williams in '91.
I know where you're going with this, because this is major.
To go and do some testing for them while I was still a Grand Prix driver for somebody else, which is unheard of.
You just don't, because you've got information that...
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the guys at Williams were worried at the time, because Brabham really wasn't doing much.
But even so, it's still...
so that was nice to get that sort of, that, you know... Yeah,
that's basically what I can remember him saying to you. You know, and your information was what you were giving back.
I was good at...
breaking it down into little
collecting all the information and then spitting it back out to the engineers and doing it over a course of laps. So that was good for those guys. But what wasn't good for me was Grand Prix at Imola in the Brabham, Tuesday rolling out, test day in the Williams, and on race tyres going 2.2 seconds faster than the Brabham on qualifying tyres. Then you think to yourself, I made a big mistake with my career moves, but because I could have stayed at Williams. I had the option to stay there and I didn't. I walked away. But there you go. It's the way the cookie crumbles. Yeah,
but there's bigger things you've got to consider first.
I don't know, I could have been world champion, but Damon took that, but there you go, He still owes me a drink, because I got him to drive at Williams, so there you go.
And a curry.
Or a Michelin star meal.
Yeah, you remained at Williams as a test driver, and I mean, I think I remember watching somewhere where you said that Senna stayed and watched testing and stuff, because you had a very similar driving style. And
so actually that's more relative to, I mean, it's two answers on that one. First and foremost, I went to Brabham because as a young guy, Grand Prix team offers you a contract, and I was a father and responsibilities, and I thought, that's my break, I'm going to take it. Hindsight, I should have stayed at Williams, because I could have possibly been the next world champion. I didn't, that's the decision I made, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. The other side of the coin, the year that I did at Brabham, then sort of reflected on it to say this is going nowhere. Had the opportunity that McLaren approached me to say, would you like to come to us and do all of our testing and be our reserve, because you're going to learn a huge amount more than what you will do with Brabham for another year. And that's the opportunity I then took. But what happened then, I remember doing the first test. And back then, Senna used to sort of finish his season and then he would just disappear. Like literally would just go off. I mean, he'd go Brazil, Portugal, nobody would see him. He'd have real off time. But we did the first test early doors, and
that was with McLaren, wasn't it?
That was with McLaren, 92.
Yeah.
And Senna turned up at the Silverstone test mid-morning, unannounced, and it was basically a confirmation of your apprenticeship. So he listened in, he went on everything that was going on between me and the engineers, had a little chat with me afterwards, and then basically like 1 o'clock he was gone. And I even said to the engineer guy, I said, like, what was all that? He said, well, to be honest with you, there's a little bit of a first for us, but I think he's just come along to understand that he can rely on you, that you're going to do what the development requirements are, and he's going to relate to it. And it got to that point, because we were doing so much testing, I mean, we had a full-blown test team.
Yeah.
We would be developing stuff in the week, and then it would get made and get shipped out to the Grand Prix and fitted over the weekend.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'd be testing 3 different floors.
Yeah.
This underbody, this underbody, this, and if I said yes, and the watch said yes.
They'd bring it out in luggage on the plane and everything.
Exactly,
yeah.
off it went.
Yeah.
So it was like rubber stamp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice to get rubber stamped.
Although he did give you a bit of a hard time once, didn't he? Because did I see that where he stopped a driver taking you to an airport or something like that?
He did that.
Was that just a bit of a...
No, because
is that just a bit of banter in the pits?
no, it's a bit of psychology is exactly that. So that was actually testing an active ride McLaren, and we were again at Imola, and basically my lap time had matched his lap time in the passive car, so identical in times, and he was a bit edgy with it. It was like, oh. So we'd pouring all through data in the debrief afterwards in a McLaren Marlboro bus, and a guy called Joseph Libro, who was a fitness and physio guy, always used to look after the drivers. Joseph was geared up to take me back to the airport because the test was continuing, and we basically got to the end of, you know, I've got to go now, and sort of said, Joseph, you ready? And Senna just lifted his head up in front of everybody and went like, no, he stays here. So like even the team manager there, Dave Ryan, was like, well, Mark's got to go. And like, no, he's staying here. And it was basically like, I'm the boss around here. Yeah, I don't care how you're getting to the airport. Yeah, you've done what you've done today, but find your own way.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, this day and age, you know, they're megastars, so they would have a helicopter probably to take them. But there you go. That's just psychology.
Big mind games.
Part 2 of that interview with Mark Blundell will be the next episode. So if you don't want to miss that, get yourself reminded of when the episode's available by hitting the subscribe button and click the bell as well so you get notified.
Yep, Mr. Boo talks about Liqui F1, IndyCar, Williams, racing, crashing Rio, working with ITV, Mark Blundell, partners and his driver management thing.
So thanks for watching this episode, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching.